Get ready to be informed. On today's Jamaica Magazine, we're diving deep into the world of geospatial data, uncovering how maps and location intelligence are transforming everything from urban planning to disaster response. Plus, we'll recap the triumphs of Jamaican diplomacy in 2024. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Let's dive right in.
Jamaica, I can help you protect our citizens.
Jamaica Eye will play a part in increasing your public safety.
Jamaica Eye is part of an island-wide network of camera surveillance systems designed to increase the safety of you, our citizens. If you have a camera system outside your home or office facing a public space, log on to jamaicaeye.gov.jm today. Jamaica Eye, we're all connected. The Ministry of National Security, creating a safer and prosperous Jamaica.
Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Thursday, January 16, 2025. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says his government has no intention of imposing any form of tax on the importation of agriculture products. Such a decision, he says, would have a serious ripple effect on the sector and the economy.
And it means that every consumer pays more. And even if you were to take that surplus in tax and say, all right, I'm going to invest it, then you're faced with this question of who are you going to give this benefit? Should we give this benefit to the poultry industry versus the goat industry? And will it be enough so that every industry benefits? Whenever you speak about taxes, in terms from as a policy point of view, you want to make sure that it does not negatively disturb equity in your society.
The Prime Minister was speaking at the official opening of the Caribbean Broilers' $15 billion state-of-the-art facility on Wednesday. The eco-industrial park, called The Nest, is located at Hill Run in St. Catherine. Companies found guilty of breaching the Wildlife Protection Act and Natural Resources Conservation Authority (NRCA) Act will soon face fines of up to $10 million. Amendments to both pieces of legislation were approved by the House of Representatives on Tuesday to allow for the increased fines and related custodial sentences. Minister with Portfolio Responsibility for the Environment, Matthew Samuda, says the amendments are necessary as the prior provisions did not consider proportionality in prescribing the level of fines compared to the offenses. It also seeks to address the alarming trend of environmental crimes growing at an annual rate of 5 to 7% globally.
A similar trend is observed in Jamaica with respect to environmental crimes. There has been a significant and steady increase in the number of environmental offenses over the last 2 decades. One of the main reasons for this increase has been attributed to the low level of the penalties for offenses under the NRCA Act and the WLPA. It is widely recognized that the level of fines under these two pieces of legislation currently do not act as a deterrent to non-compliance.
The penalty for discharging sewage, trade effluent, or any poisonous, noxious, or polluting matter without the requisite license or in contravention of its terms has moved from $100,000 to a maximum of $5 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years. Similarly, for an environmental impact assessment that was not submitted within the time specified by the regulatory authority, the fine will move to $5 million or a prison term not exceeding 3 years.
Additionally, it is noted that the imposition of criminal sanctions is only one but a key element of the regulatory toolkit to foster compliance. To be effective and efficient, colleagues, imposition of criminal sanctions must be coupled with an increase in enforcement action by NEPA, including the identification and apprehension of offenders in a timely manner.
Since its promulgation in 1991, the NRCA Act has never been amended until now, while the WLPA was last amended in 1998. Finance Minister Favour Williams says the increase in the maximum participating voting share capital for companies listed on the Junior Stock Exchange, JSE, is expected to positively impact the MSME sector. On Tuesday, the House of Representatives passed amendments to the Income Tax Act, which, among other things, increased the JSE maximum participating voting share capital from $500 to $750 million. Minister Williams reiterated the importance of the policy change to the growth potential for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises during Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing.
It will broaden the scope for more MSMEs to benefit from the suite of incentives afforded. Further, the increase will provide room for these companies to raise capital and improve productivity. This policy is in recognition of the pivotal role that MSMEs play in driving economic growth while promoting and encouraging local entrepreneurship. But let me hasten to add that companies on the main stock exchange cannot and will not be able to move to the junior stock exchange because of this increase in the capitalization.
The 48 companies currently listed on the junior market benefit from a range of tax incentives, which include conditional relief from income tax payments, as well as exemption from transfer tax and stamp duty on transfer of shares. The junior market had a market capitalization of $148.5 billion at the end of December 2024, having started with $785 million in 2009. School is not a fashion runway, says Minister of Education Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, as she responds to public discussions on the grooming policy for learning institutions. Several recent incidents have brought the matter to the fore, including the reported barring of a McGraw High student from entering school due to a violation of the grooming policy. During this week's post-cabinet press briefing, the Education Minister explained that the ministry's primary focus has been and remains on fostering an environment of learning and maintaining order within schools.
And we also understand that as young people, they want to express themselves in different ways. And, it may be in hair, in dress, in other things. But the key thing we know is that school is not a fashion runway, right? School is about a place of learning. And for us, our focus is on learning in our schools and ordered learning in our schools.
She explains that an updated grooming policy has been drafted and is shared with all relevant stakeholders to clarify expectations for students.
And so we have a grooming policy. We actually have another one that has been drafted, updated, based on, for example, one court case that we had. And that has been doing the rounds. It was circulated with the principals. It was circulated with the student council members. So the students have a voice with the churches. So everybody has been looking at this policy of grooming.
Dr. Morris-Dixon assures that the ministry will continue to engage all stakeholders to establish suitable grooming protocols while prioritizing the educational needs and well-being of students. And finally, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, will be hosting a series of workshops and meetings on event stagings and execution over the coming months. Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, revealed the plan during Tuesday's meeting of the KSAMC.
This will include a session with promoters to set clear standards for events held in Kingston, separate workshop with production crew, and a dedicated workshop for venue operators. Additionally, we will host discussions with round-robin organizers and small events promoters to ensure inclusivity. We are not excluding anyone. Both large and small promoters have the support of the KSAMC.
He says the focus is not only on revenue, but also maintaining safety, order, and a proper city management.
By fostering collaboration, setting standards, and supporting events organizers at all levels, we will continue to position Kingston as a premier destination for large and small-scale events, reaping the rewards for our city and its people.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
Up next, we rewinded the clock and revisit 2024 for a look at the major achievements within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade.
With this move, we will be able to do that, not only host them more comfortably, but to be able to provide better service. We're also better located because we'll be beside Grand Central Station, so all our publics will be able to come, plus we'll be closer to the UN. It's a time for us to reflect on embracing our second, third, and fourth generations. It's a time for looking at how we enhance our engagement and seek increased participation by members of our diaspora in national development initiatives, as well as for cooperation among our regional groups.
If you are ready to make a meaningful impact, our Ways to Give Back section offers numerous opportunities to contribute and give back to our beloved Jamaica. For the savvy investors, don't miss our curated investment opportunities. Explore these carefully selected ventures that not only support Jamaica's growth, but also offer rewarding returns. Kickstart your JA Diaspora Engaged journey today by visiting the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade website at www.mfaft.gov.jm. Let's join hands to shape a brighter Jamaica together, where dreams turn into reality.
It is a fact that the diaspora has been for years asking for ways to receive curated investment information. They say, we want to know how we can invest, where we can invest. We don't want to have to fly down to find out. And this JamDem portal will deliver that.
We have over the years been the beneficiaries of Japan's generosity, and today's ceremony is an important demonstration of our long-lasting JJ partnership.
The opening of this lovely facility, Jamaica House in India, is, yes, to advance our diplomatic relations, but more so to advance our economic relations.
Having had very fruitful talks with Prime Minister Modi, I can say with confidence that today heralds a new phase in Jamaica-India bilateral relations.
So it is my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to officially unveil the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade's first Citizen Charter. It will inform our clients about their rights and, in fact, their privileges and responsibilities as citizens to receive high-quality services from here.
As the government undertakes critical infrastructure developments such as roads, housing and water, it relies on geospatial data to guide the process. The information is also useful in many other areas. The entity charged with managing this important aspect of government agility is the National Spatial Data Management Branch of the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Let's learn more about this unit.
Simone Lloyd, Acting Principal Director of the National Spatial Data Management Branch. So the National Spatial Data Management Branch falls under the geospatial component of the land portfolio of the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. And the branch is charged with the responsibility of overseeing and coordinating Jamaica's development of a national spatial data management, national spatial data infrastructure, an NSDI. And this NSDI is really a network of geographic information systems across government, also should be across private sector and other entities to ensure that we're able as a country to develop spatial data, share these resources, develop services that can support national development at large. National Spatial Data Management Branch is to ensure or is to promote the development of Jamaica's geospatial sector, so the advancement of the sector. And through the advancement of the sector, ensuring that geospatial data is developed, it is available, it is managed, and is accessible by all the various users. So we provide a lot of support, technical support, to various projects and programs across government at large. We're key with respect to ensuring that we're, as a country, able to develop a cadre of persons who have geospatial skills. And so through that, we have various projects and programs that are training related. So training, education, and public awareness is a strong arm of the NSDMB, whereby we target the government at large to ensure that persons have the requisite skills and knowledge set to utilize these various resources at large within whichever ministry, department, or agency within which they fall. In addition to ensuring that secondary through tertiary in particular institutions, that their students are able to develop the skill sets and knowledge base as to what geospatial is and how it is that it's a viable career option and how it is that it can help with respect to conducting the various research that they may need to do where various projects are concerned, whether it be internally within their institution or externally at large. So top 3 projects of which we are currently doing. We are happy to be partnering with the Coconut Industry Board, whereby we're spearheading a project with respect to mapping their gene bank. So Jamaica has the largest pool with respect to coconut palm varieties within the entire Caribbean, within actually the Western Hemisphere, and it's housed here in St. Thomas in their gene bank. And so we have been assisting them with respect to 2 different programs. One program to map that particular gene bank, all the various varieties of coconuts that occur there, and with that being able to monitor that, develop a GIS web map application that helps with respect to them being able to monitor and track and be able to put in sustainable measures where those varieties are concerned, and with that being able to expand upon or export market where the coconut industry is concerned. So that is key. Partnering also with JACRA, and also with RADA, so with the Rural Agriculture Development Agency, also with the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority with respect to their focus on various crops that are produced and how it is that we can expand upon our export market and therefore our revenue that is earned through foreign exchange. So partnerships that support the advancement of our agriculture industry are prime, but also focus on our tourism industry. So partnering with the Tourism Enhancement Fund, we would have recently gotten approval for a project to execute with for the Tourism Enhancement Fund that would look at predictive modeling where the sargassum is concerned. So sargassum is a major concern for tourism industry. Many persons who come to our island look forward to sun, sea, and sand in terms of our products as a country. And so going onto a beach and seeing sargassum either on the beach or in the water is not very pleasant. So being able to track and monitor what is the origin of these blooms and with respect to what direction they will take in terms of impact across our island, in terms of our coastline, is very important. So developing a predictive model that looks at sargassum and how able to target that challenge is a major project of which we'll be executing for the Tourism Enhancement Fund. Another major project is with respect to the upgrade of our National Geospatial Data Repository. So we house a National Geospatial Data Repository that deals with storage of geospatial data for government entities. So government entities that are custodians of data sets, how it is that we support backup of those data sets and also accessibility of those data sets if needed for national projects that have a geospatial component. So we facilitate backup, but also accessibility to those data sets if needed for the various government projects that support national development. And also with respect to projects that support research, whether it be research within education institutions or outside of that, that also support national development. So that's also another major area. The government of Jamaica, through the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, is developing and building mines, in addition to advancing projects and programs through geospatial technology.
Up next.
Our function is to seek to have persons being registered owners of property so that they can.
It looks like I'm all ready to go, but am I really? Yes, I'm doing all the right checks to make sure my vehicle is road ready. But what about everybody else? How do I get ready for them?
Driving to save lives, time and money in spite of the conditions around you and the actions of others. But in a nutshell, we want to ensure that we leave our destination and we reach home safely without creating any harmful situation for any other road users.
Using the techniques of defensive driving helps you to reduce the chance of other people's mistakes affecting you and your vehicle.
You must always be aware that though you might be a good defensive driver, the other road users a lot of times aren't. People will borrow your lane, people will overtake carelessly because they're tired of being in front of a vehicle that is slower than them or a truck.
The government is targeting behavioral change among drivers to reduce the country's vehicular collisions and fatalities, and defensive driving is one of the tools. Grinnell's driving school is known for championing safe driving. Director and instructor Seth Grinnell leads us through some useful defensive driving techniques. Let's learn.
The road code says that the person who arrives first should be allowed to go first, assuming that everyone now, of course, comes to a stop at the stop sign. We'll creep to our line of vision to see if it's safe to go. I'm going to make a right turn and then I proceed. Using the cover and scan technique, when approaching an intersection, we usually want to shadow our brake, but most times what we do, we toot our horn, we don't slow down because we believe the horn will stop the person's vehicle pressing their brake for them. That's not the technique we should use. So when the light turns to green, we wait at least 2 seconds. Then we scan our intersection, ensure no one is running their light, and then we proceed safely. All right, so we're on Hope Road, and this road slopes slightly downhill. So it's very easy for you to gather speed without even knowing. Now the speed limit is 50 kilometers per hour, but I can promise you, I am going 50 now, and you realize that people will be passing me with ease. Now, one of the biggest issues here is that people always crash into the wall right at waterfalls there. Now, there are adequate road signs. We can see the road signs, the backdrop, which speaks to caution or warning, and the left arrow bent like that means left bend. So caution, left bend. Now, if you do not slow down, there's even a recommended speed here, I promise you your vehicle will only try to go straight. You will not be able to maneuver the bend, and the wall shall meet you. So the road signs should be adhered to.
Eager to learn, we quizzed Seth some more about other defensive driving techniques and how to deal with the narrow roadways, especially in rural Jamaica.
Bumper-to-bumper collisions is one of the highest crashes that we have, especially in built-up areas. Within Kingston, we have a lot of built-up areas, people who are late, people who are impatient, and the closer you are to the vehicle in front of you, the more likely that if you are distracted, if you aren't really aware of the situation, you'll end up into the back of the vehicle. Even a sneeze. Because when you sneeze, sometimes you jerk forward and before you know it, you're in someone's trunk. A lot of times what happens, you might be peacefully going about your way. Someone bad drives you, and then they give you some choice words, the body language, and you believe that you have to meet them in kind. You just have to let it go. It doesn't positively impact your driving. A lot of times it leads to you taking unnecessary risks. So you want to take extra caution, use up your horn to alert the road users in front of you that you are coming and that they should hold their side of the road and so forth.
There are many ways to deal with the far too many lives being lost on our nation's roads. Government's enactment of the New Road Traffic Act is helping to actualize the transformation by issuing harsher penalties for road safety breaches. Defensive driving puts the driver in the seat to save lives. With more calculated efforts and responsible actions, it protects the most vulnerable road users and benefits all without a cost.
This is where our journey ends, but only for today. Do join us again tomorrow when we'll bring another informative program. In the meantime, stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via X at JIS News. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.